Hi there, I'm Ken Kurtis. I'd like to talk to you about the greatest invention ever. Now, you could take Gutenberg and movable type, Edison and the light bulb, Al Gore and the internet, even Gideon Sunbeck and the zipper. He was Canadian, by the way. But I thought instead I'd take something that symbolically and literally ties man and man's best friend together. That's right, I'm talking the retractable dog leash. To do this, I need a dog. Got one. Charlie, come here. Let's hook you up. You want to go out for a walk? Come on, let's go for a walk, Charlie. See, the great thing about the retractable leash is it gives the dog total freedom. Now, you've still got some control too because there's a brake on the thing. But for the most part, the dog can go pretty much wherever he would like to go. When you think about a standard traditional leash, well, sometimes it's going to pull on your shoulder, or even worse, it's going to pull on the dog's neck. The retractable leash takes all of that out of the equation. So when you really get down to it, what you have here is an invention that's good for you, good for the dog, win-win all the way around. And when you think about the fact that the dog's sole job is to love its owner, how can you not say that something that makes his life easier isn't the greatest invention in the world? Now we'll show you why a 100-ton boat floats and a 5-ounce stone sinks. And for that we turn to Archimedes. He was a Greek mathematician and scientist who discovered the principles of buoyancy. In fact, he discovered them while he was in the bathtub. He was so excited that he jumped out of the tub naked, ran through the streets of Syracuse, Greece, shouting, "Eureka! I've found it!" Well, luckily for you, I don't do nudity. So instead of being in a bathtub, I've got something set up over here that'll show you what Archimedes was talking about. So instead of a bathtub, we've got a fish tank. Now, what Archimedes said is that if you take an object and immerse it in a fluid, that object will be buoyed upward by a force equal to the amount of weight of the fluid displaced. Let's do it with a golf ball and a ping pong ball because they have about the same amount of volume. Golf ball goes in and sinks to the bottom because it's heavier than the amount of fluid it displaces. A ping pong ball, on the other hand, floats because it is lighter than the amount of fluid it displaces. The same principle applies for a boat. We'll use the SS Ziploc here. All you need to do is know the volume of the hull, and if the amount of water displaced by that volume is more than the weight of the boat will float. Let me show you mathematically how this works. Allow me to introduce you to the Sir Martin II. It is a 100-ton vessel. It's for sale, by the way, for $1 million US, in case you're interested. But based on Archimedes' principle, we can prove that this thing floats. All we have to do is do the math. So let's start with the fact that we know it's a 100-ton vessel. A ton, as you'll recall, weighs 2,000 pounds. That means the weight of this vessel is 200,000 pounds. Now we need to know how much water is displaced by the hull. So if we know the dimensions of the hull, 62 feet long, 14 feet wide, 10 feet high, by multiplying those together, we get the volume of the hull at 8,680 cubic feet. Since we're in salt water, we need to know that salt water displaces 64 pounds per cubic foot. And by multiplying the 64 times the volume of the hull, we come up with the total displacement of the vessel, which is actually over 500,000 pounds. Now, Archimedes basically said, you put this 200,000 pound boat in the water, and it will displace a water weight of 500,000 pounds, a little bit more than that. The fact that 500,000 exceeds the 200,000 means it is going to float. And that's how we know that this boat will float. Hopefully I've floated your boat too. I'm Ken Kurtis. Thanks a lot for watching.